What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hello and welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a series on my channel where we sit down every single Thursday and we create a look using an older palette from my collection that y'all have voted on. The way that this works is every Sunday I post sort of a bonus video on my channel. It's just footage of me going through my collection and picking out the palettes that y'all will have to choose from. From there, I post a poll over in my community section with pictures and the name of each palette, so you don't have to watch the footage if you don't want to. There is no obligation. And then you'll have a couple of days to vote, and that brings us to today. Now, there are a couple of stipulations to the way that this works. Number one, I always like to make sure that the palettes that y'all have to choose from are currently available. I don't want to use anything that is discontinued that you can't get your hands on. Number two, I will not be purchasing any palettes specifically for this video. I do have some palettes that kind of come into my collection that are older, that came out in previous years, that were maybe on my wish list, so y'all can choose from those. But I like it whenever y'all leave suggestions down in that comment section. But if I do not have that palette in my collection, I will not consider it because that defeats the whole purpose. And lastly, all of the palettes that we choose from are ones that came out in previous years. So nothing that came out in the current calendar year will be considered for this video, which it doesn't matter. You won't see them because I store them in a different place anyways. But let's go ahead and jump into this because the results are in. Y'all had 4 palettes to choose from this week, and y'all, we had a tie. It was neck and neck for the longest time, and honestly, I kind of thought Adept Samarian Sunset was going to win, but the last time I checked it, right before I sat down to do this, we had a tie. It was down to Samarian Sunset from Adept and Muse from Cosmic Beauty. So with that being said, we are going to create a look with each palette. Not a look on each eye, not a look combining the 2 palettes together, but one complete look using each palette. I'm super excited about this. I have actually already created my look with the Muse palette, so I am going to show you that footage first, and then we will go ahead and create our look with the Samarian Sunset palette and then close out this video. Alright, y'all, so we are zoomed in. My eyes are primed with my Sigma eyeshadow base. This is in the shade Ignite. I know, not the normal one I use, but if you watched my declutter video that I posted a couple of days ago, I told y'all I wanted to cycle through some of my other eyeshadow primers, quit being a creature of habit, so that is what we're going to do. Also, I am trying out a new cream blush. This is the Yensa Silky Cream Blush. This is in the shade Rose Radiant, and this is beautiful. So far, first impression, this is the only time I've used it. I like the way that it went on. I like the way that it's sitting on my cheek, but I also don't have any powder on either. But I just wanted to let y'all know that in case you see it in the description box and you're like, wait a minute, where did that come from? I'm testing it out. So it'll be in more videos, and I will do it in a speed reviews eventually. But let's go ahead and dive into the Muse palette. Oh, this palette is so beautiful. I want to play with the purples in here. I love this shade right here, this really pretty like deep burgundy shade, this pink. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this shade right here. This one is called Sweet Pea. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that shade up with my BK Beauty 212 brush, and I'm gonna put this on like the outer half of my lid. So I'm not gonna do my typical style where I do my crease, outer corner, and all of that. We're gonna do something a little bit different. So I'm gonna pick this up with my BK Beauty 212. Did I say that already? I probably did. But I'm gonna start to kind of pack this on my lid, bringing it up and over and sort of blending it, fluffing it, all of that. So this was my very first Cosmic Beauty, Cosmic Brushes, whatever you want to call it, palette. I had never heard of the brand. I saw it pop up on Instagram, and I was like, that color story is everything. I need it in my life. And from there on, I was hooked. I love the formula in their palettes. I love how affordable it is. I don't know how they're able to give us such high quality as far as the mattes, the shimmers. We've got duochromes, multichromes, all the things. And their palettes, from my experience, have never passed like that $35, $40 mark. I know they've never gone over 40, but I can't guarantee they've never gone over 35, and I think that's fantastic. I do have all of the palettes that the brand has released, with the exception of the very first one. I think it was called Royal Rose or something like that. By the time I got into the brand and fell in love with them, they had discontinued it. So I'm sad that I never got that one, but this is one of those brands that just, you can't beat it. It's fantastic. It is a UK indie brand, so if you're here in the United States, you do have to pay a little bit more for shipping, but It's not as pricey as some of the other international shipping costs that come with some of these brands, so I don't mind paying it. And like I said, the quality is absolutely beautiful. But let's go ahead and move on to our next shade. So we're gonna go in with this really pretty dusty pink shade down here. This one is called Petal. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO6 brush that has Katie hair all over it. And we're gonna put this on the rest of like the inner portion of my lid, bringing it over to my inner corner, but I don't think I'm going to bring this into my inner corner. I think I'm going to reserve that for something lighter, a nice little pop of shimmer in there. But I am just going in with pressing motions, and I'm going to bring it over to where that first shade stops and just make sure that everything is pressed and blended together. But I want to know, do y'all have anything from Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty? We're going to call it Cosmic Brushes. I feel like everybody knows it by Cosmic Brushes. But do you have anything from the brand? Like, what is your favorite palette? Are you interested in trying the brand? If you are, like, which one do you have your eye on? They have so many gorgeous palettes. This one I think is my second favorite, and my ultimate favorite is the Gothic palette that came out last year. Maybe I should pull that one for next week. Oh, that palette is stunning. It is a purple palette. It has some pops of other things in it, but it's gorgeous. I love that. It's also a smaller one from the brand. I'm wondering if we're going to get some more smaller ones from them this year. I don't know. We'll see. I love that they don't release something every single month. Some of these brands, it's really hard to keep up with them because they're constantly releasing new palettes, which I love a palette, I'm all for it, but it can get very overwhelming. All right, so next I want to go in with this shade up here. This one is called Rosewood. It's this really pretty, like, deep burgundy brown shade. I'm going to pick that up with my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm going to put this into my outer corner, building up a little bit of depth and definition. I'm also going to bring it down onto the outer portion of my lower lash line as well, and then we'll go in with something else. But look at how beautiful that is. It's effortless. It blends so easily. I'm not getting any fallout, patching, skipping, nothing. I adore this brand. All right, so for the rest of my lower lash line, I'm just going back in with this shade Petal. It's the one that I put on the inner portion of my lid. Same brush, and I'm just gonna fluff this along my lower lash line, bringing it from inner corner to outer corner, making sure that everything is nice and blended and it just flows all the way around my eye. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with my NYX glitter primer, and then we're gonna pop some shimmers on the lid. Now this is going to be interesting because I have nails. These are press-ons. I used to have nails all the time. I quit doing them a couple of years ago because I just found that they were getting really, really expensive and I wasn't getting very great quality. Every time I left the salon, I was disappointed with the way that my nails looked. They were crooked. They weren't the shape that I want. They were just very rushed. I went to the same guy for years and years, and he got really busy. He got really chatty. He started kind of getting a little careless with his work, and then he was like passing me off onto other people. So I quit going to him and I tried to find somebody else, and I just couldn't ever find anybody. But we're gonna go ahead, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with this shade right here. This one is called Muse. It is this really pretty, like, bright pink to almost like a gold flip. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna pop this one all over my lid. Hopefully. I have not done any eyeshadow since I put these nails on, but what I was saying was a couple of years ago I decided to just stop. I decided I was done. I wasn't going to give in. I don't like going to the nail salon anyway, and I had a really hard time with the transition from nails to my natural nails because doing hair, these were like tools. I use these to separate the hair. I use them to do everything, to do parts, all of it, and it was an adjustment. So I finally decided we're gonna go ahead and try these out and see what they're all about. And I have to say, they were so quick and easy to put on. They feel nice and secure on my fingers, and we'll see how long they last, but it's definitely an adjustment because I am not used to this, and I'm actually not having as hard of a time as I thought I would, but look at how beautiful that is. I could 100% leave that there and finish off this look, but I'm not going to because I'm extra. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Ambient, and I'm gonna put this right here on my outer corner where those two shades meet, and then we'll do the inner corner. All right, to finish off this look, we're gonna go in with this shade up here for my inner corner. This one is called Luster. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush that I use for my inner corner for every single look. I love this brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with some Matte Fix Plus. And I'm gonna pop that right in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner mascara and finish off this look. Alright y'all, so this is the completed look with the Muse palette, and I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. It is pink, it is purple, I love the shimmers on the lid. Oh, this is just such a pretty look, but let me show you what I used to finish off this look, and then we will move on to our Adept Samarian Sunset palette. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner. This is in the shade Bordeaux. I decided to skip liquid liner on the lid and just give everything its moment to shine. Kind of a softer look. I thought it looked really pretty without it, but I did go in with my Queen Musia 2053 mascara to finish off this look, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm a sucker for purples, and this is definitely doing it for me. All right, let's go ahead and create our look with the Samarian Sunset palette. So once again, my eyes are primed my Sigma eyeshadow base in the shade Ignite. And for this look, I think I want to stick to like these two shades over here for my mattes. Maybe we'll throw in a little bit of this green shade as well, but I'm going to go ahead and start with this shade right here. This one is called Positronic Net, I think is what it's called. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not completely up to date on my Star Trek references. I'm more of a Star Wars girly. I do understand some of it, but not all of it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up with my Morphe M504 brush, and I am just going to pop this into the crease of my eyes, building up a little bit of that shape, my depth, my definition. If you've been here, you know the drill. I tend to do the same eye looks over and over. I don't really stray from my technique. Sometimes I will, but we're gonna do what I normally do. All right, so next we're gonna go in with this shade right here, this really pretty burnt orange. This one is called Delta Quadrant. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with my BK Beauty 203 brush, and I'm gonna put this in my outer corner. Now, I have said many times before that Adept mattes are not my favorite. They tend to be a little dry, patchy, finicky to work with, but I don't find that to be the case in every single Adept palette. Some of them are better than others, and the ones in this palette specifically are really nice. I don't have any issues with them. You can see that shade is building up nicely. I'm not getting patching, skipping, fallout, anything like that. This is one of the palettes that I really do love from the brand. I don't really have a fun story behind this palette, unfortunately. I bought it because I thought the color story was absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I am not a Star Trek girly. I grew up watching Star Wars. It was just kind of what we did. I have 3 older brothers, and 2 of them are significantly older than me. I mean like 18 and 16 years older than me. So when my parents had like events for my dad's work, or they had something going on with friends, whatever the case may be, my brothers were always the ones that babysat me. And every time they did, we watched Star Wars. And for years and years and years, I thought there was only one Star Wars movie. I thought A New Hope was the only one that they ever had, and I absolutely loved it. I was obsessed with it. I watched it all the time. And then I remember, I don't remember how old I was, but it was one time we went to Blockbuster and we were walking around, and I stopped and I looked at the shelf and I was like, wait a minute, there's more than one? And my brother was like, yeah. And I was like, can we watch them? So we rented the other 2. We rented Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and I was hooked. To this day, Empire Strikes Back is still my absolute favorite movie. I just love it. I love the storyline. I love all of the surprise that came with it. Obviously, it's never the same after you've seen it the first time, but we never got into Star Trek. It just wasn't a thing. We have a family friend who is really, really into it, and she loves it. She had all of it on VHS tape. I remember going over to her house and seeing it sitting on the shelf. But Yep, we're Star Wars people, but I do know enough about Star Trek that I can catch on to a lot of the references, things like that. But if there's anybody out there who wants to start a makeup brand that is more Star Wars themed, I'd buy everything you came out with. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So for the lower lash line, we're gonna play with this green shade right here. This one is called Tanagra. Oh God, all of my Trekkies are gonna come for me. That's fine. You do you, because I have no idea how to pronounce some of these, and please educate me. So for this, we're gonna go ahead and use a Singe Beauty EO4 brush. So I'm gonna pick that up and I'm gonna put this on my lower lash line. I don't do a whole lot of green and orange combos. I don't know why. It's a beautiful like fall theme and I am here for the fall weather. It's not here yet. It is still wildly hot here in Houston, but it's coming. We usually get a break from the heat somewhere like late September, early October, and that is when I start to thrive. I come out of hibernation mode and really, really love the weather. I would much rather be cold than hot. I'm hot natured to begin with, so I'm ready for it. I love the Burr months. They're my favorite, and that's beautiful. I do like this color combination. All right, my lid is primed, my NYX glitter primer. Let's go ahead and throw some shimmers on this lid. So I want to play with these shades over here. As you can see, I've gotten more use out of my more pinky purpley shades. So I want to dig into these oranges and these gold shades. So we've got some duochromes, we've got some multi-chromes. I think what I want to do, this one is so beautiful. It has this really pretty flip to it. I don't know if y'all can see it in the camera. I think you can. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with this one all over the lid. So that shade is called LOL, I don't know, whichever one it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with my finger. I'm going to struggle once again, and we're gonna put this one all over my eye. Look at that. Oh my God, like Adept shimmers, y'all. This is what keeps me back. As long as it's not a matte heavy palette, I will 100% grab it because their shimmers are so incredibly sparkly, shifty. They have all kinds of different formulas in their palettes. Some are a little flakier than others, some are more shifty. We've got hollow curl, like we have all the things, and they are beautiful. Now, I do have to be careful with my Adept shimmers because they will crease on me if I don't use certain primers and things like that. I've said that before, but if you're new here, I have found that for my eyelids, I do have very oily eyelids. It is the only thing on me that is ridiculously oily, but I have found that my MAC Paint Pot, my Sigma eyeshadow base, and my Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. Those are the three that I never get creasing with my Adept shadows whenever I use them, and I always use my NYX glitter primer as well. I do want to see if I can maybe find like some other glitter primers out there and things like that. Maybe there's some that might work a little bit better, but those are the ones that I always go for. They never fail me. My shimmers last all day with Adept. I don't get fallout, I don't get creasing, nothing like that. But that is the first shade on my lid. Next, I think I want to go into this one right here, this like deeper like red, orange, yellow multi-chrome. This one is called USS Defiant. So I'm going to pick this one up on my finger and I'm going to put the, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's like stunning, absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to put this one right here on my lid where that shimmer and that matte meet, and kind of give me a nice little gradient from the outer corner all the way over. And then we're going to do something else for that inner corner. But look at how beautiful that is. Oh, they just blend together so beautifully. It's not emphasizing texture on my lid. I'm not having any issues other than the fact that I have forgotten how to function with nails. But that's okay. We are figuring it out together. For the inner corner, I want to go in with this shade right here. It's this really pretty like champagne yellow to like a pink flip. So I'm going to pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush. This is the brush that I use for my inner corner every single time I do an eye look. I am going to spray it with my MAC Fix Plus, and we're going to pop this into my inner corner, and then from there we can finish out this look. So let's do this. Ooh, that is so pretty. Alright y'all, so this is the completed look using the Samarian Sunset palette, and this is stunning. I absolutely love this. It is putting me in the fall mood. I love that green on the lower lash line, and of course the shimmers on the lid are just as beautiful as they always are. Adept never disappoints when it comes to shimmers. But let me go ahead and show you what I used to finish off this look, and then we will close out this video. So in my lower waterline, I went in with one of my Give by Gwen Stefani eyeliner pencils. This is in the shade Greener Pastures. I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner and threw on some of my Queen Musia 2053 mascara, and I love this. I love this look so much. I'm excited that this is the one that I get to wear for the rest of the day. Alright y'all, so that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's Throwback Thursday as much as I did. I had so much fun creating both of these looks with these palettes, and I can't believe y'all did a tie for this one. Y'all's first week voting on a palette, and y'all threw me for a loop. I sat there and watched those polls, and it was like back and forth, neck and neck, and for a while I thought Adept was going to win, but y'all surprised me, and y'all are probably going to continue to surprise me, but I'm glad that I got to play with both these palettes because I love both of them and I absolutely could not have chosen between the two. But with that being said, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Which palette did you vote on? Which look ended up being your favorite? Let's have that conversation, light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for spending your time with me and watching my video. It truly does mean so much to me, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.